Good evening. Welcome to the Tammy Talks. We are going to continue the conversation. We're so glad that you'll be able to join us. We're going to wait a few minutes to see who all come on. We got a good topic tonight to talk about, and we hope that our continuous friends and family tune in to listen and see what we're going to talk about on tonight. With everything that's going on in the media, I do want to say that we're praying for the Floyd family. We're praying for their continuous cover, that they will be covered and wrapped in the arms of Jesus. And we hope that we can continue the fight that we have to fight to cause things to come into pass how it should be for our generation of people. Like I said, welcome to the Tammy Talks. We're going to continue the conversation today. Today we want to talk about love. Yes, we want to talk about love, because that's what it seems like that the world needs now. We need love, and some sweet love. We need to share the love that we have for one another as mankind, not as male or female, being of a different race or a different nation or nothing. You guys just gotta love. So today we want to talk about love, and we know there's so many things that are going on, like I've said already, and we want to just share with you today and let you know that there's somebody love you, somebody here is praying for you. Yes, I mentioned prayer. I know that the Floyd family really need prayer right now because of what they're going through, and many other families that are going through this that maybe we haven't heard. Maybe some of us have strolled through our little news feed on our Facebook page, and we see other things that are happening to other families. I want you to know that our prayers are going out to you from the Tammy Talk Show, and today we're going to deal with love. And I just jotted down a few things here. I did my little research. I like to do research when I'm talking about certain topics, so we would know where we're coming from and what we're talking about. And the question that I want to ask my family at the table, and I want to ask them, what do they think love is? What do the word love mean to them? And I know there are maybe people that are in relationships, and they may feel like, they're putting out a lot, and they showing love and not giving love back. Even us as a generation of people, we have shown people love regardless of how we be treated. We'll still show them love. And today we want to just talk a little bit about what love is to us and what real love is. And I did some research on love, and I was looking at some stuff that Dr. Chapman has said about love also. So I wrote some stuff down, and I'm going to ask some questions around the table in a minute. But here is something I want to read right here. Love is the most important word in the English language, and most confusing. Both secular and religious thinkers agree that love plays the central role in life. And I was reading where it was saying how psychologists have concluded that the need to feel love is one of the primary human's emotional needs. For love, we will climb a mountain, cross a sea, we'll travel in the desert, sand, and we'll endure hardship. Without love, mountains become unclimbable, seas become uncrossable, deserts become unbearable. So how many of you all have, experienced a love relationship and a lost love or something like that, and you felt like life was over for you? But had you considered that the person that you're in love with have not experienced real love? Because love start. I even got something written down here that I'm going to read from that about how love starts. But I'm going to ask around the table, my family, what do you think love is? Hello?
I'll go first. I think love is a word. It's a word. Of course, as we know.
Yeah, it's a word.
You're doing good so far, son.
When you say it, you say I love you, and then it should be actions after you say I love you.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be more actions than just saying.
Right.
You know, so I broke it down to, like, in my opinion, love is in 3 parts. You have love for your parents. You have love from relationship, and then you have also love from, if you're religious or whatever your faith is, love from that faith. But I believe in God, so I'm gonna say God, love from God.
Yeah.
So the parents' love is there, the mother's love is there as soon as you in her womb, and the dad's love as soon as you come out.
Mm-hmm.
And they see you and build a relationship. The mothers build a relationship on the inside as you grow, and she, you know, picked up all different things. You pick up her, you know, all that stuff as, you know, in the baby, in the womb. And then the relationship is who loves you, who doesn't have to love you, but they love you anyways.
Right.
Or they love you because they're in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of those are missing, then it's unbalanced. Like if you have one parent not there, then there's an off balance in the love. So it's hard to love someone else because you didn't have all 3 loves, or you have all 2 loves in the beginning.
Right.
At that time, to show you what real love is and show you how you're supposed to be treated when you get someone else. And if any character which is off, maybe you had both, and you get someone that don't treat you like what you had, you know, growing up, then that's off there. And then, you know, start compromising or whatever to try to find that love, you know. So that's why I think love is more of action, and also, you know, love from parents, and then you get the love from God or someone else.
And I was reading something where it said, love is the most confusing word. Because sometimes we'll say, I love pizza, I love reading, I love walking, I love running. So there are different, love can be on different levels and different stages. Okay, I heard you was talking about the family love. I even had something down on that concerning that when you are a parent, when you're brought up in a household where that parent don't show you love, it could be from a mother or a father. Mm-hmm. One or the other don't show you that love that you need. That's when the first start of you not really balancing out how to love. And maybe you was being abused or something in the household. And that's another defense. There's another thing that you have up in you on the inside that's showing you what love is and what love ain't. But you don't know the difference because you have been brought up in that household with a parent not there or a parent there. That parent is there. You've had one there and not showing you the love that you need. And then you start feeling bad within yourself because you don't feel genuine love. Because when you first have your children, I know when I had you all, okay, let's talk. When I had my kids, the first thing I looked at when I looked at little Anthony, I just looked at a handful of love in my hand. And the first thing came to my mind was, I don't want nothing to happen to this child. I'm going to protect this child. But there are some parents, some young ladies, when they have their children, they don't want them and they don't want them in their life and they don't want to deal with them or whatever. But if they have to raise them, that child start feeling that rejection. Okay, go on, husband. What you had to say, dear, while I read over my notes. I knew you had something to say.
Oh, okay. Sure. Hi. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm just going to say, just like Anthony said, my son, love is an action. I think love is what we do. I also think that love is who we are. And people say that it's not words, but I disagree. I do think love is also words. Mm-hmm. You just have to make application to your words. So love can change the world. It can change your household. It can change yourself. Because a lot of people don't know how to love themselves. You can't love anybody else effectively if you don't master how to love yourself.
Right.
And so I'll just say that much for now.
Mm-hmm. we want to focus on the kind of love that is essential to our emotional health. Okay. A child psychologist affirmed that every child has certain basic emotions needed that must be met if he or she is to be emotionally stable among those emotional needs. Then it was stating how none is more basic than the need for love and affection, the need to sense that he or she belongs and is wanted. Even in a relationship, sometimes it get unbalanced if you feel like you're unwanted and you don't feel like you belong. So it was stating right here that even as a child, the children want to be affirmed that they are, wanted and needed, because they can feel those emotions. They can feel it when you're around a parent or around your children. They pick up on that. So in order to have that love that really helps and solidifies people's life, you got to be able to be affirmed by and assured by the love that you have within yourself in order to give love. And how many of us had experience in a relationship where you love somebody and you don't get that love back? I know there's a lot of people that are listening today. You may be in a relationship right now, or have been in a relationship that you felt like you put all your all and all in it, but you didn't get the love that you felt that you deserved out of that relationship. I had a young girl to say to me, do you think that I'm worthy of being loved? And I told her, I said, yes, all of us is worthy of being loved. And you know why? And I told her this, what I read in the Bible, what it says that man shall not be alone. So I was letting her know that, yes, you should be loved. You are capable of being loved. And I was looking what Dr. Chapman said about the 5 love languages. One of them is words of affirmation. And the second one says act of service. The third one, receiving gifts. The fourth one, quality time. And the fifth one is physical touch. Even if you have, if you had a child and you never pick that child up, you just get them to change them and lay them back down, but never give that child any hugs or kisses, that is where the disconnect will start with love. But if you want a parent that is always caressing your child or hugging and doing giving them what they need as a young child, then it will be grounded in them what loves begin with. And when he began to say when he wrote about words of affirmation, and when somebody give you praise for what you do, that makes you feel good. It makes you feel loved, feel wanted, like they want you around them. But when you don't feel that love, and I can bring in too, even the way our nation is going right now. When this murder first happened with this young man, people was trying to figure out what to do. And then all of a sudden, I believe they put themselves in his position and began to think about, what if it was me? What if it were me? How would I want people, what would I want people to do for me? And that's how I feel about love. What if it was me not treating you right and not loving you right? What if it was me? And so I'm just happy how the nation got together and they began to march and begin to show, love for a man that couldn't even help himself, a love for a man that they didn't even know. See, and we're trying to come together to change what has happened to us for years. And I'm glad to even be here today in the world where maybe someday I'll be a part of the change and get a chance to see it. Some of our ancestors, they never got a chance to see it. They was always hoping for it and believing for it, but we are here to see it. We are here to change it. So what we need to do is make sure that our love shine forth in everything that we do. Jaleesa, do you have a few things you want to say about love, daughter?
All right, I got a few things that I just jotted down. One of the things is people love according to their interpretation of love.
Yeah.
You can't love beyond how you know how to do it. Like, if you only received a certain type of love, that's the love you're going to give out. And you feel like it's 100%, but when another person gets it from you, their interpretation of love is not the same. So that could be why relationships don't work out as well.
Right.
The love they have been given, like I said, is the love they give. People's definitions of love are relatable, but the execution may be different. So I'm the type of person I like to give when I love somebody. So if I'm in a store and I know a shirt looks like you, I'm gonna get that shirt and I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna bring it to you. That's my way to show my love. That's the way I do it. So I'm a giver when it comes to love. Sometimes I wonder if the love that I dream about even exists. So sometimes I'm like, okay, my daughter's love, like nothing compares to that. So I feel like when I birthed her, God gave me the love I had been looking for. So like now I feel like I'm already complete. So I guess when God brings me the man that belongs in my life, he's just going to add to it because I'm already complete. Like I'm not necessarily looking for that guy now like I used to. But when he comes, I'll be excited. You know, the love for my family, that's natural. So those are the loves like we know we have. Well, I know I have. But when it comes down to love from another person, our interpretations of love, the people I've run into are different. And that's why our relationships didn't work out. The way my family showed me love is 100% the way I think it should be. But other people didn't receive it the same way I did. So I think that's why our love is not the same.
Right. That's all about the love that there was around growing up. Yes, that was beautiful. Yes. And let me see, I have something else here. Do you have a few things you want to say?
Yes, I'll say. I agree with my sister on that love part of how you got love. Maybe in your household, I'll say as a guy's standpoint, maybe you didn't have a dad there, but you had a mom, but the mom really didn't show you that love because she had to be the mom and the dad for you, so that you really don't know how to show love to a woman because one, she wasn't there because she had to work, and two, when she was there, she was fussing, so like you didn't really open up to like loving a woman because of that kind of thing, so you shut down, and then when you get out there in the world, you're trying to look for that love in all these women, but they, you know, you give out what you, like I said, what you gave, she gave you. So you start yelling and fussing and doing all that kind of stuff, thinking that's how you love someone because that's how you got it. And that's not, like she said, that's not how she got it. So it's going to be unequal. You can have a lot of fights going on and frustrations and hurts and stuff like that. So before you get into any relationship, you should say how, number one, how they got love, how they got treated. So that one, you know how to treat them and what's their sensitive spots. Yeah. And two, as the person, each sensitive spots. So if I'm the person that's yelling, and she don't like that, you ask her, like, calm down and ask her how should I treat you? And then the same thing for her or him, her, however you do it. And so it could be nice and easy, smooth transition for you.
Yeah. So
that you could show love and maybe you can give the love that they didn't have.
Right.
In a way.
Right, because a lot of people could be brought up in a household where there was no love there. And then too, even in relationships, I have talked to a lot of people concerning relationship, when they're married or dating, and they want to know what love really is. And then they ask me, well, why didn't this person love me the way I love them? You can't tell somebody how to love you, but if that person know what love is, they will show you that love. But you got to show love in order to get love. A lot of people don't want to show the love in order to get the love, but it's not a requirement. If you are a loving person, or if you're a person that has been hurt and you don't know how to love, one thing I would tell somebody, if you're going into a relationship and you going into that relationship, you already hurt. this person is all happy and know how to love, and maybe broke up with a relationship or whatever, or first time in love, but they love you, but you done been hurt. And so when you all get together, that person got to deal with the hurts that are on the inside of you. And I would recommend that anybody that has been hurt in a relationship to go, when you get into that relationship with that male or female, explain to them what happened to you. And explain to them that you don't want to go through that again. But if they put you through that because you giving off signals or giving off signs of your hurt, and it deter them, because a lot of times in those relationships, when you have hurt somebody or somebody's hurt, they're going to hurt somebody else. Hurt people. And then you can love me all day long, but if I'm hurt, all you're going to get back from me is hurt. So first off, you got to deal with the hurts on the inside of you before you even go into a relationship expecting something good when you can't give nothing good. Because a lot of people go into relationship expecting good things to happen, but if you're not able to give their good things to somebody, you got to work on you before you even try to get a relationship love. But a lot of times people want to get into the relationship and they want to fix you to fit them, or fix you so they can love you. But true love don't require anything. True love, you just start loving the person for who they are. And you try to see, even if the person, along the way, the person turned bad in the relationship, and you're trying to do everything you can to get the love from them that you desire. Sometimes you have to walk away from that relationship and not be afraid to walk away. The hardest thing is to walk away from a relationship when you love somebody. But the biggest favor you can do for that person and yourself is walk away instead of staying in it. So I'll just tell anybody, if you're in a hurt relationship and you haven't been getting the love that you need out of it,
Get out of there.
yes, and make other choices, because love is out there. There is real love out there. There are people that genuinely knows how to love, but you got to know how to give it out. Even being single, married, being single or married have nothing to do with whether you need to feel loved. Everyone has a God-given desire for complete and unconditional love in all relationships. Everybody you got that God-given thing. You was born into this world. You came into this world requiring love. So everybody has that God-given desire to be loved. And what are some of the things that you all are concerned about how y'all seen love operate?
Well, one thing I think about, like, I'm going to go to the Bible about it, but 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17 says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away, and see, the new has come."
Mm-hmm.
And in 1 Corinthians, let me get to it. Chapter 13, verse 4, it says, love is patient, love is kind.
Come on, children. Y'all working scriptures.
It does not
Young
envy,
man, young
is not boastful, is not arrogant,
no, it's not.
is not rude,
Mm-hmm.
is not self-seeking, is not irritable, and does not keep a record of wrongs. So, like, love finds no joy in unrighteousness, but rejoices in truth. It bears all things, believes all things, and hopes all things, endures all things. So, usually when people want to make an effort to do better in something, they have to set goals, or they have to set, like, milestones. With these will be like the milestones you would like to set your love based around.
Mm-hmm.
I think of this song, basically the background like idea or concept of the song was that there's this girl that this guy likes, but this past relationship she's been in, she found out that the man that she was with was cheating on her. However, whenever she brought it up or whenever she discussed it with the man, he pretended like he was the victim and made her feel like she shouldn't trust her own intuition and her own feelings and trust herself. So now she's gone into this new relationship, and the man like she's with, he really loves her. So in the lyrics of the song, it says, every now and then she goes off though, beating on his chest like a bongo. He understands she's coming from a hurt place. He answers all the questions on her survey. So basically, love is patient, love is kind, love is not envy, it's not boastful, not proud, arrogant, rude, all of that.
Right.
If you decide to love somebody and you get into a relationship with someone, and now you realize that the scars they had from their past are making themselves known. If you are going to try to tough it out, you have to exercise love in these set of goals that are set right here in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 7. That's how you have to base that around. That's the only way you're going to make it through that. Of course, you can't like start out with, like when people make their goals for the new year, they don't complete that goal in one day. That goal is not done in 1 week. If the said person said they're going to lose such and such amount of pounds, if that goal is 20 pounds, we rarely hear on TV where people say they have like little products or going through a program that they've done 20 amount of pounds in 1 week. It's not going to be that fast, and it may not be that easy. But if you have set within yourself that this is something you want to do, and this is a journey you want to take with somebody you love, and you want to give this love to this person, you're going to have to go through the ups and downs. You're going to have to be there when this person is asking you a whole bunch of questions. Well, where'd you go? Why'd you go here? When did you get there? What did you do when you got there? Just wait it out. Wait it out. And, you know, after they ask all the questions, if you're the type of person where it's just like, you kind of like smile or laugh, and they're like, why are you laughing? Nothing. It's just, I'm just glad that you want to know all of this, and I can give you this information and not feel ashamed to do so. Because it seems like when people get in relationships where they're tough and people have scars from their past, the person who is supposed to be like on the receiving end of all the scars and all the hurt and all the pain, it's like they say they want to go through it and go through the love, but they don't do it with the standards that have been set here. So they're like, they're doing it at 50%. When this person needs, it's funny to say, but this person needs 120% of the love you have to give. Like, these standards have to be your go-to when you're addressing how you love this person, so that their scars don't, overwhelm them and doesn't break the relationship.
Yeah. And I want to go back to the start back to the childhood thing as you go through life. Where it starts from is the root of it is in your upbringing. I'll say this: the lack of love from a parent often motivates a child to go searching for love in other relationships. This search is often misguided and leads to further disappointment. I've heard of and talked to a lot of people that have been in relationships after relationships, and that's maybe because they're searching for love. And we heard the little saying, searching for love in all the wrong places. It will cause you to go into all the wrong places to look for love. But I want everyone that is listening to me today, and you've been in relationships and you can't understand why someone don't accept you for who you are, or they don't love you for who you are. I want to tell you today, love yourself. And then if you was brought up in a household where you felt lack of love and didn't feel whole, amount of love coming from you, from your loved ones or your parents, seek help. Please seek help. Like I said in all my other shows that I've shown, seek help and get to the root of the problem. So you won't have to go in and out, in and out, in and out of relationships. Because everybody wants that one true love. You want that one person in your life to stay there. And then now, there are people that I have talked to here lately are going through some things in their household and relationships. Just see what happened to you as a child. Ask that person what happened to them. It might not even be a parent. It could be another relationship or whatever. But find out what it was and find out what it is so you can fix what's going on in your relationship now so you don't have to walk away. So you can get it on the right track. So you can receive the love that you desire to have. Because every man and woman God placed on this earth, He placed us here with love. And He placed us here to be loved. But if you don't find that affirmation or that appreciation of who you are in that relationship, I just ask you to go seek help and find out what's going on. Find out what happened. What's the root of the problem? Because I guarantee you there's a root. There's a root of the problem there. And everybody wants to be loved, especially in the world that we're living in today. So much is happening. So many things are going on. And you just want to know that there's somebody in your corner. You may have to go to work every day and be around people that you know don't care nothing about you. But when you get back home, you want that love right there at the house that will strengthen you and give you strength for the next day. And there are many people that are listening to me. I know you're listening. I can hear you thinking. You're saying to yourself, I don't feel no love. No matter what I do, what I try to say, I still don't feel no love coming from this person. You need to seek help for yourself. And then if you're in a marriage, you both go to counseling. Go get some help. And I guarantee you in counseling, they will tell you what the root of the problem is. It might not even be you two. It might be a third party. It might be your past. It might be something that happened as a child that you need to look into so you can receive the love that you know you deserve and the love that God has placed on this earth for you. Anthony, you had something to say?
Yes. Also, what I like to do, I'm the type of person that I give out love, and if I don't get it back, it's okay. But just think about it this way: if you give out love, and you find someone that gives out love, then you have love. Love is given. And yes, you can receive it. But if you're giving it and you're giving it and the other person's giving it, and both of y'all getting it back from each other. And also I said this too, love, you have to listen as well. So if I when I get in a relationship, I like to talk. So I say, well, I don't like this, I don't like that from the beginning. And if you listen to it, then I say, okay, well, this person actually likes me, and then we actually connect, that's good. But if you don't listen to me, then I'm shut down real quick. I'm shut off. Because obviously you don't love me enough to listen to what I don't like, and you do everything I don't like. So you're obviously not in it for love, you're in it for something else. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to waste my time, with you if you're not going to listen now.
Right.
And then you want me to listen to you and your hurts. But I told you mine, and I do my best to make yours good because that's how I am. And I'm the type of person, I'm going to make sure that if you tell me you don't like the way I put on my shoes, that's the way I put them on, but I'm going to change them for you. I said, okay, well, I'm going to put them on differently for you. So you see that I care enough to hear your thoughts and, and try it your way because that's the way you like it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something as far as food. I might like the way, my mom cooks food, and maybe I might get a wife that cooks it different. Right. So I'm going to say, let's try your way. We, work a compromise. And
right. Maybe
we can mix something together and create our own, mix. And there'll be our own traditions, or maybe I might take on that tradition. She might take on mine. Yeah. Whatever it is compromise and listen and adapt.
Right.
And then you also have to look and search how the family house is. Mm-hmm. So if you see it in the family, you understand the effects of it. Then you go pray about it. If you have God in your life, you should get God to pray about it. Pray about it. Ask God, how can I love the person's flaws without being angry at the flaws.
Right.
Love the flaws out of them. Pray together, go to counseling together. Even before you get together, go to counseling together and say, hey, this is what's going on, or this is what's, and if they don't want to talk, you just have them sit down and listen. Maybe one day they'll open up because they might be so hurt that they close up and clam up. And they don't want to express it because maybe as a child, when you're young, like my niece is young, right now we're giving all the love, all of that. Once they get a certain age, it's locked in.
Yeah.
So those baby ages and baby stages is locked into love. If you don't get it then, maybe you can try again, but it's hard to fit it in that moment.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to go back with the parents, and then the parents get teenagers, that's wild. I want my child to listen to me, but what was you doing when I was a kid? Did you put that love there? Did you put that discipline there? So that when you grow up, you don't have that distant love or they walking away finding it for somebody else because you didn't give it to them. So, pay attention to a lot and listen to it. That's my big thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. As I was saying, we sharing today about love, and I know a lot of people are going, even in the areas what you are in right now. Okay, this is something I want to talk about to the young ladies. If you are dating a young man, and this young man has showed you in so many ways that he don't love you or he don't want to be involved with you, don't force him. Here are 7 ways a man tries to show you love. He'll bring you around his family. He'll stay close to you physically. He really will listen to you. He is always smiling and always hugging and maybe kissing on you. Okay, I said it. He stay in touch with you. I know, I'm just saying. I just stop
You
it.
see how G-rated that was?
All that. And he stay in touch with you because he want to be around you. He doesn't, he don't care what you do as long as he's with you. And he'll mirror your behavior and your body language. He will put thoughts into the gifts that he give you. Now, that is some of the signs that a man will show you if he care about you. Now, if you wrote down those things that I have written here, if any of those are not on your checklist, and you start Xing them out saying they're not doing that, you have a problem. Because if he's not showing you those things, and you say, well, I want a man that will do those things for me, well, he is not the man. And if there are men in your life that only come around when they want something from you, or when you can give them something, and never giving, basically you practically taking care of them. I'm going to tell you like I would do, run like the wind. Because he's not showing you that he loves you. Love is shown. And when somebody show you that they love you, you show them back. Don't hold off on it, show them back. But we all want to be loved. And we have to show that love that we want to be given to us. How many of you all out there that's listening, I'm going to look at your questions, see if you have something on there. Maybe you want to ask me something.
Love yourself.
Yeah, Mom Crawford said you have to also love yourself. Yes, you have to love yourself. Let me see what else I hear on here. You have to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard for you to show anybody that you love them.
You have all those things in parents and growing up where you don't love yourself.
Yes, it's an action word. But it seems like it's so hard for the world, us as people, to show each other love. I mean, even across the racial lines, like I said earlier, we know what has happened in the news. But why is it so hard for them to love us? And I always ask myself this question. What have we done to make them not love us? What have we done? What did we do to show them, to make them not love us? And what threatens them about us that they can't love us? Do you have any answers at the table, husband?
Well, I guess
You know, you do. There are answers to it.
I
Yes.
guess what I would say would be like the way the media portrays every picture or standards or situations.
Mm-hmm.
They painted a picture that whenever somebody African American gets into an altercation with somebody who's Caucasian or white, once it becomes a scandal, they'll bring up information about the black person's past to paint the black person as the criminal. That they always have a criminal background, they always have a criminal history, so that's why they're prone to do things that result in violence or robberies or thievery and stuff like that. So we become villainized. We become the villain of the story, and whoever either kills us or ends up getting off or whatever they do is the hero. So society paints a picture for everybody, and people aren't dependent on themselves enough to think for themselves.
Right.
People have been depending on someone else to give them opinion for a long time. Since we've been in school, we've been feeding people. Somebody's been feeding us information for ourselves, and we don't sit home and read for ourselves this information. So somebody's been telling us something, spoon feeding us. So now we've been told by somebody else because we've been doing it all our lives. That's the narrative is what it's called. That's the story that will be painted. So that's why it's easy for them, some people, to hate us.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad we're seeing the change now.
Yeah.
That story can no longer be an excuse anymore.
Right. We're starting to see that people want to see change. And the love, I love me. I can't help it if you don't love me, but we're in a world that things can change. So people can love one another. And it's hard for people to love one another because we're so judgmental, like you said. We want to judge what we see in somebody else instead of examining ourselves. You had something?
Yes, what I was going to say is that the reason why the racial thing is here because it's mainly because of, my opinion, power, and then because of how we got here in the first place.
Yeah.
To help build what they wanted, not what we wanted to build.
Right.
So once we got free, they felt like we was gonna build it for ourselves and leave them out. I believe. So they got afraid. Basically, I think it's this fear of they think we're gonna take over, but no, I don't think that's what our idea was. We just want to be equal, just like you guys, just like everyone else. But you pushed us out, so we had to get our own thing. Had to do our own stuff. If we could do it with you, it's great. We can work together and build a strong tower. But that's not what the ancestors were thinking. They were thinking, you know what? They left wherever they left in England and came over and said, we're gonna live free. We're gonna do this, but we don't know how to really build it ourselves. So they went over to people that knew how to do it. You know, I don't know what the conversation was, but I guess they probably didn't want to, but they pulled them over anyways. And so I just, like I said, it's my opinion, and then it just didn't go the way that they wanted to go and plan. They wanted to, you know, be forever. So that's basically, I think it's just fear.
So, Tamaris, what you think about love, buddy?
Share with us.
Share with us today about love. Come on.
Love loves to be loved.
Come on now, don't play with me.
I don't have anything to say about love.
Do you feel loved?
All the
Have
time.
you been in a relationship where you felt unloved? Have you had friends around you?
Yes.
Different ones, and you put so much into it, and
Yes, that's a good one.
no one came back?
Good one.
I wouldn't think so. You know, like the friends that I know love me. The ones that don't, I don't show it back.
Okay.
Well, that's not nice.
No, I'm just saying you give what you get. So if you give it, I give it. If you don't give it, I don't give it.
Okay.
So that's my form of love.
Okay. All right then. Well, we hope you all enjoyed the Tammy Talk Show on today, where we talked a little bit about love. And I want to encourage everybody to show somebody love. And if you want to be loved, give it, and somehow you will get it back. Don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to show love. Don't be afraid to talk about love. Because the conversation of love, people don't like to have that conversation because they feel like, I'm being vulnerable and I'm telling somebody how I'm feeling. I'm telling somebody where I'm at. But have that conversation about love and have a true conversation within yourself about love so you can walk into this life and live the rest of this life and have a good life with love coming back to you as you give it out. I thank you for tuning in on the Tammy Talk Show today. We'll be back with you on Sunday. I'll be back with you with another topic. I'll be back with you with some more guests concerning the topics that we have talked about. I'm looking forward to you all joining me on the Father's Day week. The Father's Day week, I have a special guest that will be here. He will be talking about the things that he went through when God blessed him with his son. You know, a lot of times we think that the mothers are the great ones to raise the children. But God has good fathers out there. I want you all to join me that week. I will have a special guest. He's going to talk to us concerning the ups and the downs that he went through. But in the end, he got the victory because he had his son living with him right now. So he's going to tell his story. I hope you tune in then. Thank you for watching. From my house to your house, from the Tammy Talk Show. Love you much. Next time.